striking auto workers continue to make their voices heard, Ford's executive chair is also speaking out. Hear what he had to say. The story next.
A fatal shooting at a baby shower. Find out what happened to the suspect immediately after the crime.
Hamas launches rockets over Israel's capital as Israeli forces prepare for a possible escalation of this war. I'm Mather Rivera in Jerusalem with that story coming up.
Working for you. Fox 2 News at 5 starts now.
As the UAW strike enters its 5th week, the intensity is shifting into another gear. The auto industry is losing billions, and more people are losing their jobs because of layoffs.
And now Ford's executive chair is calling on the union to end the strike because the future of the auto industry is at stake. Fox News' Ingrid Kelly joins us live from Michigan Assembly in Wayne. And Ingrid, what are the members saying about this? How do they feel?
Well, you know, these members say these aren't antics. They're actually standing their ground, and they actually demand a fair contract. As striking UAW members continue to stand firm, Ford Executive Chair Bill Ford took the mic on Monday.
This should not be Ford versus the UAW. It should be Ford and the UAW versus Toyota, Honda, Tesla, and all the Chinese companies that want to enter our home market. They will win, and all of us will lose.
The remarks were part of an address Ford gave on the future of American manufacturing at the Ford Rouge factory complex in Dearborn.
The Rouge is the crown jewel of a company that still believes that building in America matters.
But Ford believes the future of building vehicles in America is on shaky ground, and he is calling on the UAW to stand up and do the right thing.
We need to come together to bring an end to this acrimonious round of talks. I still believe in a bright future, one that we can build together.
In a statement, UAW President Shawn Fain had this to say. Bill Ford knows exactly how to settle this strike. Instead of threatening to close the Rouge, he should call up Jim Farley, tell him to stop playing games and get a deal done, or we'll close the Rouge for him. Professor Kevin Kettles of Wayne State University provides this analysis of Ford's speech.
He implied that if Ford or automakers give away too much in these negotiations, what they could do is it could negatively impact the auto industry in this country. And that what he's afraid of and what he's saying is that, we could make us uncompetitive. And that he's afraid that as one of the, largest employers of manufacturing employees in the country, he's afraid that it would force his company to move manufacturing to other parts of the world and to different countries such as Mexico.
UAW President Fain also says it's auto workers everywhere against corporate greed. If Ford wants to be the all-American auto company, they can pay all-American wages and benefits. Workers of Tesla, Toyota, Honda, and others are not the enemy. They're the UAW members of the future. But Ford says it's doing all it can to keep the industry strong.
And that's why we've offered a record contract which would make our UAW employees among the best paid manufacturing workers in the world.
If Ford gives us a fair deal, we would love to go back to work tomorrow, but I'm willing to stand out here as long as it takes.
But Executive Chair Ford believes if this strike continues, the auto industry won't be the only industry in jeopardy.
In my lifetime, I've watched countries lose their auto industry, and then virtually all industries after that.
Back out here live. There's a lot of support for these striking workers. As you can hear, there's a lot of motorists honking their horns as they pass by. Now, coming up at 6, we'll tell you how you can make a donation to these striking workers. Back to you.
Yeah, this is getting pretty ugly on both sides, and it sounds like they're at an impasse. Is the ball now technically in the court of the UAW, or is that the group that needs to make the first move, or are there any other plans for talks at this point?
Well, I was asking the UAW members about that, and really they say it's up to Ford. They say, or any of the big three, if they give them the proper contract, they say this strike would end immediately. It depends on who you're talking to. Yeah. Back to you.
And there's a lot to that. You're right. Thanks so much, Ingrid, for the update. We'll see you at 6.
Right.
A new video tonight shows Israel pounding Gaza with airstrikes. It's a counterpunch to the rockets fired by Hamas. Tonight, hospitals in the Gaza Strip warn that they are on the brink of collapse with limited food, water, medicine, and power. Israel rejected a ceasefire proposal from the UN, who says that Palestinians are facing a humanitarian crisis.
And it comes as Israel prepares a ground invasion into Gaza, determined to defeat Hamas fighters. Fox's Madeline Rivera is in Jerusalem with the latest.
Sirens ringing across Jerusalem on Monday as Hamas launched a wave of rockets over Israel's largest cities. Israel's military fired back, once again pummeling the northern Gaza Strip with airstrikes. Forces are getting a boost as the U.S. moves air carrier strike groups and fighter jets into the region.
You know our deep commitment to Israel's right, indeed its obligation, to defend itself and to defend its people.
As Israel prepares for a possible full-scale ground invasion, crowds of Palestinians waited at the Rafah border crossing, hoping for a humanitarian ceasefire that would allow them into Egypt. Israeli Defense Forces say thousands of others have been trying to make their way south, but many have been stopped by Hamas roadblocks.
They are using their own civilians as a weapon against Israel, seeking to maximize their own civilian casualties.
Meanwhile, Israeli officials are bracing for this war to become a larger regional conflict. A military spokesperson telling Fox News 6 anti-tank guided missiles were fired into northern Israel on Sunday. Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu issuing this warning to Lebanese militant group Hezbollah.
Don't make the mistakes you already made once, because now the price you pay will be much heavier.
Israel's military has ordered dozens of communities along Lebanon's border to evacuate. In Jerusalem, Madeline Rivera, Fox News.
A Farmington Hills man is facing serious charges, accused of threatening Palestinians in an online post. Carl Mintz allegedly directed his threat against Dearborn residents, inviting people to hunt Palestinians. Anonymously, someone shared that post with police, and Mintz was arrested. He's charged with the felony of threatening terrorism and was given a $500,000 bond. If he is released, he will have to wear a GPS tether. Mintz is due back in court next week. Ooh, it's getting colder out there.
It's fall. Fall is here.
It's always tough to start a Monday with clouds.
Yeah, but you know what? It wasn't as bad as the rain we saw over the weekend.
Truth.
Had a chance to get outside, enjoy a little bit of the fall foliage, so it was good. But I hear that there's more rain on the way. Weather Authority Rich Luderman is going to let us know what we can expect with the first look at our forecast. Rich.
Hey there, Brandon and Taryn. Yeah, it's going to be later in the week when we see a return of unsettled weather. Now, clearly we have the clouds in place over southern Michigan. Notice most of the light showers down over Ohio, Pennsylvania, to our east in New York State. Now, there could be one or two sprinkles for the remainder of the evening, but yes, it is cool with all the clouds. 54 here, 49 in Lansing, 51 Grand Rapids up there in the Thumb, 50 Bad Axe, 50 as well for Port Huron. How about a place that is seeing sunshine? Sault Ste. Marie, blue skies there. They're holding at 50 degrees. Sure looks nice. We will see some breaks of sun tomorrow, and especially for Wednesday. For the night ahead, mostly cloudy. Chilly once again. We're going to get down to 42. And then Tuesday and Wednesday are going to be dry days for us. Thursday, Friday, Saturday brings that return of showery weather. The weekend ahead on the chilly side, Brandon. How about a full check of the 7-day coming up in 10?
See you then. Another request denied for the parents of the Oxford school shooter, and they will not be allowed to attend their son's sentencing. A judge rejected James and Jennifer Crumley's request. The two have not been able to have any contact with their son since the shooting, which happened back in November of 2021. A judge already turned down the parents from attending the shooter's Miller hearing when it was ruled that he could spend the rest of his life in prison without parole. The shooter will be sentenced in December. His parents will face trial in January for involuntary manslaughter.
A baby shower turns deadly as a 50-year-old woman is killed on Detroit's east side.
Yeah, the shooter drove off, but this scary incident did not end there. Fox News' Camila Miri has more.
The senseless gun violence has to stop.
A woman in her 50s shot and killed at a baby shower on Detroit's east side. It happened Sunday night on Edmore Street. Police say immediately after the shooting, the suspect, who is also female, drove to the 9th precinct, presumably to turn herself in. But then...
So as she exited her vehicle, she was struck by our victim's son.
She was injured as a result and was last listed in temporary serious condition. Authorities say she's in her 40s. A horrible set of circumstances, investigators trying to figure out the motive of the initial crime.
We're still looking into that. We're talking to witnesses to find out exactly why this altercation took place.
Both the shooting suspect and the man who hit her with his car are in police custody.
Even licensed gun CPL holders, which our shooter was a licensed CPL holder, they have to be responsible with their weapons. If something happens and you need police assistance, please call us. Let us deal with the situation. Don't take the matter into your own hands.
On Detroit's east side, Camila Mary, Fox 2 News.
Michigan State Police helped track down a suspect during a chase with its chopper. The suspect was wanted for resisting and obstructing an East Point officer. He's seen waving on and off westbound I-94, trying to get away. He eventually gets off the expressway and parks in someone's driveway, then gets out and takes off running. He didn't make it very far, actually tripped during the attempted getaway. Officers then pile on top of him. Police recovered a weapon during that arrest.